Your desires are not mere wishes or fleeting thoughts. They are the whispers of the universe, guiding you toward what is already destined for you. The moment you imagine something, you are planting the seed of its reality. Every thought, every feeling you have, is the creative force that shapes your future. Desire is the language of the universe. It is a force that moves through you, guiding you toward what is meant to be yours. When you feel a deep longing for something, it is not random. That feeling, that craving, is a message, a signal that the universe is communicating with you. Your desires are not born in isolation, but rather in harmony with the greater intelligence that governs all things. Think of desire as the universe's way of calling you toward your potential. When you feel pulled toward something, whether it's a career, a relationship, or a new experience, it's not simply a personal wish. It's the universe revealing a path that is already in motion, waiting for you to step onto it. Your desires are the bridge between where you are now and the future that is being shaped for you. Desire is much more than just wanting something for the sake of it. It is an energy, an intention that arises from within, but is also connected to the flow of the universe. Every desire you hold is a reflection of a possibility that exists in the infinite realm of creation. When you feel drawn to a particular outcome, it's because that outcome is already forming on a vibrational level, waiting for your focus and belief to bring it into physical reality. In many ways, desire can be thought of as the universe's way of guiding you toward the next stage of your life. It's a force that arises not from lack, but from the recognition that there is more for you to experience, more for you to become. When you feel desire, it's the universe showing you what is possible. It's a subtle but powerful way that the universe communicates with you, nudging you toward expansion and growth. It's important to understand that desire itself is neither good nor bad. It is neutral. It becomes positive or negative depending on how you perceive and respond to it. When you approach your desires from a place of alignment, seeing them as natural and inevitable, they become a force of creation. They draw you into a state of inspiration, creativity, and purpose. But when you resist or doubt your desires, seeing them as unattainable or too difficult, you disconnect from the very force that is trying to bring those desires to life. Desire speaks to you through your imagination. It plants the seed of possibility in your mind, allowing you to envision a future that feels different from your present. When you allow yourself to fully embrace the desires that arise within you, you open the door to new possibilities. Your imagination is the canvas on which the universe paints its messages. The clearer and more vibrant your vision, the stronger the pull of that desire becomes, guiding you toward the actions and thoughts that will bring it into being. The universe operates through frequency, and desire is a frequency that resonates with the energy of creation. When you desire something deeply, you begin to vibrate at the frequency of that desire. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs all start aligning with the possibility of what you want. This is why desire is so powerful. It shifts your internal state, aligning you with the frequency of the outcome you seek. Your desires are not isolated from the universe's greater plan for you. They are, in fact, a vital part of it. When you feel drawn to something, it's because the universe has already created the possibility of that outcome. The path exists, you simply need to align with it. Desire is the universe's way of signaling that this potential is ready for you to claim. It's an invitation, a call to action, but the action required is not one of force or struggle. It's an internal shift, a realignment of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs to match the energy of what you desire. When you embrace your desires, you are, in essence, agreeing with the universe. You are saying, yes, I accept that this is possible for me. You're allowing yourself to be a co-creator with the universe, recognizing that your desires are not separate from the greater flow of life, but are integral to it. The universe responds to your desire by opening doors, creating opportunities, and guiding you toward the right circumstances to bring your vision to life. The feeling of desire is your internal compass. It's the way the universe draws you toward your destiny. And the more you trust in that desire, the more you allow yourself to follow its pull, the closer you come to realizing the full potential of your life. Desire is not something to be feared or dismissed. It is a sacred communication between you and the universe, a reminder that there is more for you to experience, more for you to become. Imagination is the foundation of creation. It is the unseen force that shapes everything you experience in life. Long before something exists in the physical world, it must first exist in the realm of imagination. The images you hold in your mind, the scenarios you play out in your thoughts, and the emotions you attach to these mental pictures are the true building blocks of your reality. When you imagine something vividly, you are not simply entertaining a daydream. You are actively engaging in the process of creation. Imagination is not a passive act, it is a dynamic, powerful force that aligns with the energy of the universe. Every image you hold in your mind, every scenario you run through your thoughts, is sending out a vibration. This vibration interacts with the infinite intelligence of the universe, shaping and molding your external world according to what you imagine. It is important to understand that imagination is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. In your mind, there are no barriers, no constraints. You are free to explore any possibility, no matter how grand or improbable it may seem. This is why imagination is so vital to the process of creation. It allows you to transcend the restrictions of your current circumstances and tap into the limitless potential of the universe. Through imagination, you have access to infinite possibilities. The act of imagining something brings it into the realm of potential. Once you've imagined it, you've given it a form, however subtle. It exists now, even if only in the unseen world. But that's where everything starts. Every invention, every achievement, every personal transformation begins as a thought, an image, an idea in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. The physical world is simply a reflection of the mental world, and imagination is the tool that bridges the two. The more clearly and consistently you imagine something, the more real it becomes. Your mind does not differentiate between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced in the physical world. When you fully immerse yourself in the experience of imagination, seeing, hearing, and feeling as though your desired outcome is already real, you begin to create the conditions for its physical manifestation. This is because your imagination activates your emotions, and your emotions are the driving force behind the creative process. Imagination is more than just visualizing images. It involves feeling as if the thing you desire is already yours. When you combine vivid mental pictures with strong emotional responses, you create a powerful magnetic force that draws your desires into reality. The universe responds to the energy you emit, and the energy you emit is directly influenced by what you imagine. If your mind is filled with thoughts of abundance, joy, and fulfillment, your outer world will begin to reflect those states. But if your imagination is consumed by thoughts of lack, limitation, and fear, that too will be mirrored in your experience. This is why it is so crucial to be mindful of what you allow into your imagination. The images you hold in your mind, whether positive or negative, are the seeds of your future reality. Whatever you focus on consistently, with emotional intensity, will eventually materialize. Imagination is the garden in which you plant the seeds of your future. Whether those seeds grow into flowers or weeds depends entirely on what you cultivate within your mind. Imagination is the playground of creation because it allows you to try on different realities, to experiment with new possibilities, and to explore potential futures. In your mind, you can become the person you wish to be, live the life you desire, and experience the feelings that come with that reality. By immersing yourself in this mental state, you align yourself with the version of reality you are imagining, and the universe responds accordingly. It's not just about fantasizing or wishing. Imagination is about living in the reality of your desires mentally and emotionally before they become physical. When you do this, you are literally shifting your vibration to match the reality you want to create. The more you live in this state of imagination, the more you embody the feelings, beliefs, and attitudes that are aligned with that desired reality. Over time, as your vibration changes, the external world begins to conform to this new state. The creative power of imagination goes beyond manifesting material things. It is the force that allows you to reinvent yourself, to heal, to grow, and to transform your life from the inside out. Every time you imagine yourself differently, you are planting the seeds of that new version of yourself. If you consistently imagine yourself as confident, successful, and happy, you will begin to attract circumstances and opportunities that reflect that version of you. Your external world is always playing catch up with your internal world, and imagination is the key to transforming that internal world. Imagination is not just a tool for achieving your goals, it is the essence of creation itself. Everything you experience in life, from your relationships to your career to your personal well-being, is a reflection of what you have imagined and believed to be true. When you understand this, you realize the immense power you hold in shaping your own reality. The only limits you face are the ones you place on your imagination. Assume the fulfillment. These three words hold the key to transforming your reality. When you assume the fulfillment of your desire, you are not merely hoping or wishing for something to happen. Instead, you are stepping into the state of being as though your desire has already manifested. You are taking on the mindset, the emotions, and the identity of the person who already possesses what they seek. This shift in consciousness is the starting point of all creation, for it aligns your inner world with the reality you wish to experience in the outer world. To assume fulfillment is to live from the end. You do not dwell on the steps it will take to get there, nor do you concern yourself with the how or the when. Instead, you move your consciousness into the end result, the final state where your desire is already a fact. In doing so, you bypass the doubts, the fears, and the uncertainties that often block the flow of manifestation. The mind is a powerful tool, and when it is directed toward the assumption of fulfillment, it begins to work in harmony with the universe to bring about the physical reflection of that state. Assuming fulfillment requires a mental and emotional shift. It's not enough to just think about your desire occasionally or visualize it here and there. You must embody the feeling of already having it. This means that your thoughts, your emotions, and even your actions must align with the reality of having what you want. When you assume that your desire is fulfilled, you no longer operate from a place of lack or need. Instead, you carry the certainty, confidence, and peace that comes with knowing that what you desire is already yours. This assumption of fulfillment is not just a mental exercise, it is a full-bodied experience. You must feel it deeply within you, as if your entire being is vibrating at the frequency of your desired outcome. The emotions that accompany the assumption are key, because emotions are the language through which the universe understands your intentions. When you feel the joy, gratitude, and satisfaction of having already received what you desire, you send out a powerful signal that aligns you with that reality. It is important to understand that assuming fulfillment does not mean pretending or deceiving yourself. It's about shifting your awareness to a new state of being. The mind and body are incredibly adaptive, and when you consistently live from a place of assumption, your external circumstances will begin to reflect that inner shift. The outer world is a mirror of your inner state, and by assuming the fulfillment of your desire, you are instructing that mirror to show you the version of reality that matches your internal experience. When you assume the fulfillment of your desire, you are essentially rewriting your story. You are no longer operating from a narrative of wanting, hoping, or waiting. Instead, you are living in the story of having, being, and experiencing. This change in narrative is crucial, because your subconscious mind operates based on the stories you tell yourself. When you shift to the story of fulfillment, your subconscious mind begins to work toward making that story a reality. Assuming fulfillment also shifts the way you perceive the world around you. When you live from the end, the challenges and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to lose their power. You no longer see them as barriers to your desire, but rather as part of the unfolding process. From the state of fulfillment, everything that happens in your life is seen as a natural part of the journey toward the manifestation of your desire. You are no longer swayed by external circumstances because your inner state is one of certainty and trust. This approach requires a level of faith and conviction. You must be willing to ignore the evidence of your senses that may tell you that your desire is not yet here. The physical world is always a step behind the inner world, and it takes time for the vibration of your assumed fulfillment to materialize into form. However, when you hold steady in your assumption, When you refuse to waver in your belief, the universe responds by arranging the conditions necessary to bring your desire into physical reality. It's crucial to understand that assuming fulfillment does not mean you stop taking action in the world. On the contrary, when you live from the end, the actions you take are inspired and align with your desired outcome. Instead of acting from a place of desperation or urgency, you act from a place of calm assurance. Your actions flow naturally and effortlessly because they are in harmony with the state of fulfillment you have assumed. You are no longer trying to force things to happen. Instead, you are allowing them to unfold in perfect timing. The beauty of assuming fulfillment is that it puts you in a position of power. You are no longer waiting for something outside of yourself to change. You are not dependent on external circumstances or other people to give you what you want. Instead, you recognize that everything you seek is already within you. By shifting your inner state, you become the creator of your reality. You are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. In assuming fulfillment, you also cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of the creative process because it reinforces the feeling of already having what you desire. When you are grateful for your desire as if it is already fulfilled, you strengthen the connection between your inner world and the outer manifestation of that desire. Gratitude keeps you aligned with the state of fulfillment and ensures that your energy remains focused on what you want, rather than what you lack. Your inner world shapes your outer world. This is a fundamental truth that governs every aspect of your life, whether you are conscious of it or not. The thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, the emotions you cultivate, and the images you dwell upon in your mind all play a direct role in creating the circumstances, experiences, and outcomes that manifest in your external reality. Your outer world is a reflection, a mirror of your inner world, and it responds to the energy you project from within. When you truly grasp this concept, you begin to see that everything you encounter in life is a product of your internal state. Every experience, every success, every challenge, and every relationship is shaped by what is happening inside you. It's not random, nor is it determined solely by outside factors. Instead, it is a dynamic interplay between your internal world and the external circumstances that reflect it. The outer world acts as a canvas on which the impressions of your inner reality are painted. Your thoughts are one of the most powerful forces in shaping your external world. Every thought you hold in your mind is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. If you constantly think thoughts of abundance, joy, and possibility, those seeds will eventually bear fruit in the form of positive experiences and opportunities. On the other hand, if you focus on fear, doubt, or limitation, those seeds will also bear fruit, but the harvest will be one of struggle, lack, and hardship. What you think about most, you bring about. Thoughts are not isolated, they create patterns. And those patterns form beliefs. Your beliefs are the core programs that run your life. They are the invisible frameworks that determine what you think is possible, what you deserve, and what is available to you. If your beliefs are empowering and expansive, they will allow you to move through life with confidence and ease. If your beliefs are limiting or self-defeating, they will create barriers and obstacles that block your path. The external world will reflect the beliefs you hold, whether they are conscious or unconscious. Your emotions also play a critical role in shaping your external reality. Emotions are the energy and motion that flows through your body, and they act as powerful magnets that draw experiences to you. When you feel positive emotions like love, gratitude, and joy, you emit a high vibration that attracts similar energies from the universe. These emotions are like beacons, sending out signals that invite more of the same into your life. Conversely, when you are stuck in emotions like fear, anger, or sadness, you emit a lower vibration, which can attract circumstances that mirror those emotional states. It's important to recognize that your outer world is not a random set of events happening to you. It is a precise reflection of what is happening inside you. If you are experiencing difficulties, challenges, or setbacks in your external life, it is a sign that something within you needs to shift. Rather than blaming external circumstances or feeling like a victim of fate, look inward. Ask yourself, what thoughts am I holding? What beliefs are shaping my actions? What emotions am I carrying? The answers to these questions will provide valuable insight into how you are creating your current reality. One of the most profound aspects of this truth is that it empowers you to take control of your life. If your outer world is shaped by your inner world, then by changing your inner state, you can transform your external circumstances. This shift begins with awareness. Becoming conscious of your habitual thoughts, beliefs, and emotions is the first step in taking responsibility for your life. Once you are aware of the patterns that have been shaping your experiences, you can begin to consciously choose new thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that align with the reality you wish to create. Visualization is one of the most effective tools for transforming your inner world. By consistently visualizing the life you desire, you are reprogramming your mind to focus on what you want, rather than what you don't want. When you imagine yourself living your desired life, feeling the emotions that come with it, and believing in its inevitability, you are aligning your inner world with that reality. Over time, as you continue to focus on this vision, your external world will begin to shift to match the new reality you have created in your mind. Another key aspect of shaping your inner world is cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness. The more attuned you are to your inner state, the more effectively you can direct your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions toward creating the life you want. This means taking time each day to reflect on your mental and emotional patterns. It means observing your thoughts without judgment and identifying the limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. By practicing self-awareness, you gain the ability to consciously choose your internal state, and in doing so, you take control of your outer world. Emotions, particularly gratitude, act as accelerators in shaping your outer world. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life. This creates a powerful emotional state that attracts more of what you are grateful for. Gratitude not only transforms your inner world, but also magnetizes your external reality, drawing in experiences and opportunities that align with your feelings of appreciation. It is one of the most powerful tools for transforming both your internal and external worlds. It's important to recognize that the outer world does not change instantly. There is often a time lag between the internal shift and its reflection in the external world. This is why persistence and patience are essential. You may not see immediate results, but if you continue to work on transforming your inner world, the outer changes will follow. Trust in the process and stay committed to cultivating positive thoughts, empowering beliefs, and high vibration emotions. The universe will respond in kind, and over time, your outer world will begin to mirror the inner world you have intentionally shaped. Letting go of attachment is one of the most profound and liberating practices on the journey of manifesting your desires. It might seem counterintuitive at first, because attachment often feels like a necessary part of wanting something deeply. However, attachment to the outcome can become a barrier to receiving what you desire. When you let go of attachment, you release the need to control how and when your desires will manifest, and this very act of release opens the space for the universe to deliver everything you seek in ways beyond your current imagination. Attachment stems from a place of lack, from the belief that you must hold onto something tightly or it might slip away. This energy of grasping is rooted in fear that you won't get what you want, fear that you might fail, or fear that things won't unfold as you wish. When you cling to your desire with attachment, you are essentially broadcasting to the universe a message of scarcity. The universe responds to the energy you put out, and attachment signals that you don't believe in the abundance available to you. By contrast, when you let go of attachment, you are signaling trust in the universe, trust in the natural flow of life, and trust in your own power to create. Letting go is not the same as giving up on your desire. It is an act of surrendering the how, the when, and the exact details of its manifestation. You are still deeply connected to your desire, but you are no longer bound by the need to control every aspect of how it comes to you. In this state of surrender, you allow the universe to work in its own perfect timing and through channels that may be far better than anything you could have planned. Letting go of attachment does not mean you stop caring about what you want. Rather, It means you release the tension and pressure that come from obsessing over your desire. When you constantly worry about whether your desire will manifest, or if you feel anxious about the outcome, you create resistance. This resistance blocks the flow of energy between you and your desire. It's like holding a garden hose tightly, restricting the flow of water. Only when you loosen your grip can the water flow freely. Similarly, when you let go of attachment, you remove the blocks that prevent your desire from flowing into your life. One of the most effective ways to let go of attachment is to shift your focus away from the outcome and toward the process. When you are overly focused on the end result, you lose sight of the present moment, where the real power of creation resides. By focusing on the present, you can take inspired action. Enjoy the journey and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. The present moment is where your energy is most potent, and when you live fully in it, you release the grip of attachment. Another key to letting go of attachment is cultivating a sense of inner fulfillment. Often, attachment arises because we believe that the manifestation of our desire will bring us happiness, security, or a sense of worth. We place our fulfillment in the future, believing that we will only feel complete when we have what we want. But this creates a cycle of dependency where your happiness is always tied to something external, something yet to come. Letting go of attachment means finding that sense of fulfillment within yourself right now, independent of any external outcome. When you are already whole, content, and joyful within, you don't need your desire to complete you. You want it, yes, but you are not dependent on it for your happiness. This creates a powerful paradox when you are no longer attached to the outcome. The desire often manifests more easily because there is no longer any energetic resistance. The universe responds to your state of inner fulfillment by bringing more of that fulfillment into your life, including the manifestation of your desires. A helpful practice in letting go of attachment is the cultivation of detachment from specific outcomes. This does not mean you abandon your desires, but rather that you remain open to however they may manifest. You might set an intention for something you want, but instead of insisting that it must come in a particular way or at a particular time, you allow yourself to remain flexible. You trust that the universe knows the best and most harmonious way to bring your desire to you. Often this means being open to the possibility that what the universe delivers might even exceed your original expectation. Detachment allows you to stay in a state of flow, where you are not rigidly trying to control every detail of the process. You set your intention, you hold the vision of your desire, but you also leave room for the unknown, for the magic of the universe to surprise you. This openness creates space for synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, and pathways that you may not have considered. When you are too attached, you limit the infinite possibilities available to you. But when you let go, you expand the field of potential outcomes. Letting go of attachment also means releasing the timeline. One of the greatest sources of frustration and anxiety when manifesting is the expectation that your desire should manifest within a certain time frame. You might become impatient or discouraged if things don't unfold according to your schedule, but the universe operates in divine timing, which is often different from our own human sense of time. Trusting the timing of the universe is an essential part of letting go of attachment. When you release the need for immediate results, you allow things to unfold in their perfect time and sequence. Another aspect of letting go is releasing the need for approval or validation from others. Sometimes we become attached to our desires because we want to prove something to the world, to gain recognition, or to feel validated. But this external validation can create unnecessary pressure and attachment. Letting go of the need for outside approval allows you to focus on what truly matters to you, independent of others' opinions or expectations. You can then pursue your desires with a sense of freedom and authenticity, unburdened by the weight of others' judgments. Everything is unfolding in divine timing, a concept that reminds us there is an inherent order to the universe, one that operates far beyond our limited understanding of time. While we may have our own plans, schedules, and timelines, there is a greater rhythm at play, a natural flow in which everything aligns when the conditions are right. This divine timing, sometimes referred to as the universe's timing, is perfect even when it doesn't seem to coincide with our personal expectations or desires. It governs the manifestation of our dreams, the unfolding of our life's events, and the flow of our experiences. The idea of divine timing invites us to trust that everything is happening exactly as it should, even if we can't yet see how. There is often a gap between when we plant the seed of a desire and when we see its full fruition. This gap can be a source of frustration if we are attached to the outcome or overly focused on when and how things should happen. But this waiting period is not without purpose. It allows the universe to orchestrate the events, people, and circumstances necessary to bring our desire to life in the best possible way. Often this process involves aligning with the right energy, refining our inner state, or preparing us for what we've asked for. One of the key aspects of understanding divine timing is recognizing that delays are not denials. When things don't happen as quickly as we'd like, it's easy to feel discouraged or think that our desires won't be fulfilled. However, just because something isn't happening now doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. The universe has a broader perspective than we do, and it sees all the moving pieces that need to come together for our desires to manifest. Sometimes what seems like a delay is actually the universe working behind the scenes, setting up the conditions that will ultimately bring about our highest good. Divine timing often requires patience and faith. Patience because the human mind tends to want immediate results, and faith because we must trust in something we can't always see or understand. Faith is the key that allows us to stay aligned with our desires, even when external circumstances don't yet reflect the outcome we want. It's easy to have faith when things are going well, but true faith is built during times of uncertainty, when we must believe in the unseen and trust the process without evidence. The beauty of divine timing is that it often brings about outcomes that are better than what we had originally envisioned. Sometimes we are so focused on a specific outcome or a certain way that things should happen that we limit the infinite possibilities available to us. The universe, in its wisdom, often delivers in ways that far exceed our expectations. This is why it's so important to remain open, not only to the timing but also to the form in which our desires manifest. When we let go of rigid expectations and allow the universe to work its magic, we are often pleasantly surprised by what unfolds. Divine timing also teaches us the importance of preparation. Sometimes the reason our desires take time to manifest is that we are not yet fully prepared to receive them. The waiting period allows us to grow, evolve, and become the person who is ready to handle the responsibility or the abundance that is coming our way. If we were to receive everything we wanted instantly, without the necessary internal growth, we might not be able to fully appreciate or sustain it. This period of gestation is a time for inner development, where we refine our beliefs, attitudes, and emotions to be in alignment with the reality we wish to create. Another aspect of divine timing is the alignment of external factors. The universe is constantly organizing and rearranging events, people, and circumstances to bring your desires into being. This requires a level of orchestration that is beyond our conscious control. The person you are meant to meet, the opportunity that will change your life, or the breakthrough you've been waiting for all require the right conditions to unfold. Sometimes this means that other people or events must align with your journey, and this takes time. You may not be the only one involved in the manifestation of your desires. Others may need to grow or shift as well. And the timing must be right for all parties. This interconnectedness of events is one of the reasons divine timing often seems mysterious to us. We can't see the full picture or understand why things happen the way they do, but the universe is always working in ways that are for our highest good. What we perceive as delays or setbacks are often just the universe arranging things in a way that serves us better in the long run. Trusting in this process means releasing the need to control every detail and surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that everything is happening in perfect order. One of the most important lessons divine timing teaches is the importance of presence. When we are fixated on the future or on when something will happen, we lose touch with the present moment. The present is where all of our power lies, and it is where the magic of creation takes place. By staying grounded in the now, we align ourselves with the flow of divine timing. Instead of anxiously waiting for the future, we can focus on cultivating joy, gratitude, and alignment in the present. These high vibration states accelerate the manifestation process and help us stay connected to the flow of life. It's also crucial to recognize that divine timing operates in cycles, much like the natural world. Just as there are seasons for planting, growing, and harvesting, there are seasons in our lives for manifesting our desires. Some periods are ripe for action, while others are times of rest, reflection, and preparation. Understanding this cyclical nature allows us to work with the flow of the universe rather than against it. There is a time for everything, and when we align ourselves with this rhythm, we find that life flows more smoothly, and our desires come to fruition with greater ease. Divine timing is ultimately about trusting the process and releasing the need for immediate gratification. It reminds us that there is a greater intelligence at work, one that is always guiding us toward our highest good. Even when things seem uncertain or progress feels slow, trust that the universe is always moving you closer to your desires. Everything is unfolding as it should, in the perfect time, and when the conditions are right, the manifestation will appear in ways that are often beyond your wildest dreams. Feel it real now is a phrase that carries immense power when it comes to manifesting desires. It emphasizes the importance of not just visualizing or thinking about what you want, but actually embodying the emotional state of having it in the present moment. The key to successful manifestation lies in the ability to feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, as if the reality you seek already exists within you. By aligning your emotions and inner state with the fulfillment of your desire, you effectively communicate with the universe that what you want is already yours, inviting it into your experience. Feeling it real now is more than an intellectual exercise. It is an experiential shift in consciousness. It is about entering into the vibrational frequency of what you desire and living from that state of being. Thoughts alone are not enough to bring about change. While thoughts can direct your focus, it is the emotional energy behind them that acts as the magnet to attract your desires. Emotions are the language of the universe. When you consistently feel the emotions associated with having your desire, you draw that experience to you, because the universe responds to your dominant emotional state. This process starts with imagination. The mind is a powerful tool, and its ability to create vivid, sensory experiences is limitless. To feel it real means engaging all your senses in the experience of your desired outcome. Close your eyes and imagine yourself already in possession of what you want. What does it feel like to be in that state? How does it look, sound, and even smell? The more detailed and immersive your inner experience, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences. If you can feel it real in your mind, the subconscious accepts it as truth and works to bring that truth into your outer world. One of the most crucial aspects of feeling it real now is embodying the emotions that correspond with your fulfilled desire. For example, if you are manifesting abundance, you need to tap into the emotions of financial security, freedom, and gratitude. If you want to manifest love, feel the warmth, connection, and joy of being in a loving relationship. Whatever it is that you desire, focus on how having it will make you feel, and begin to cultivate those feelings now. In doing so, you collapse the timeline between the present moment and the future manifestation, because energetically, you are already living in the state of having it. It is important to remember that feeling it real is not about pretending or faking it until you make it. It is about genuinely shifting your internal state to match the frequency of your desired reality. This means that even if your current external circumstances do not reflect your desires, you can still access the feeling of already having what you want. You are not waiting for outer conditions to change before you allow yourself to feel happy, fulfilled, or abundant. Instead, you generate those feelings within yourself now, independent of what is happening around you. This is a form of inner freedom and empowerment, because it places you in control of your emotional state. Another essential aspect of feeling it real is consistency. Manifestation is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of aligning with the energy of your desires. To bring your desires into reality, you must consistently feel the emotions of fulfillment. It is not enough to do this once and then go back to feelings of lack or doubt. The key is to stay in the vibration of what you want, even when it seems far away. This consistency sends a clear message to the universe that you are unwavering in your belief that your desire is already yours, which accelerates its manifestation. When you feel it real, you are also practicing faith. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the physical and the metaphysical. When you feel the reality of your desire in the present moment, even though it has not yet materialized in the physical world, you are demonstrating faith in the process of creation. This faith strengthens your connection to your desire and keeps you aligned with the energy of its fulfillment. It is through this alignment that opportunities, synchronicities, and inspired actions arise to help bring your desire into form. Another crucial element of feeling it real is letting go of resistance. Resistance often shows up as doubt, fear, or impatience, all of which create a gap between you and your desire. When you allow these negative emotions to dominate your inner world, you are telling the universe that you don't truly believe in the reality of your desire. To truly feel it real, you must release resistance and trust the process. This means letting go of the need to control how or when your desire will manifest, and instead focusing solely on the feeling of already having it. Trust that the universe is working on your behalf, and that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Feeling it real is also about self-identity. You must begin to see yourself as the person who already has what you want. If you are manifesting success, start identifying yourself as someone who is successful. If you are manifesting love, see yourself as someone who is deeply loved and worthy of love. The way you perceive yourself plays a significant role in shaping your reality. When you shift your identity to match the version of you that already has what you desire, you naturally begin to take actions, make decisions, and attract experiences that align with that version of yourself. This process is empowering because it reminds you that you are the creator of your reality. You are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You have the ability to shift your inner state, and in doing so, change your outer world. By feeling it real now, you become a vibrational match to your desires, and the universe must respond by bringing them into your experience. This is the law of attraction in action, and it operates with precision and consistency. To deepen your practice of feeling it real, incorporate this into your daily routine. Set aside time each day to enter into the feeling of your fulfilled desire. Visualize it with as much clarity and detail as possible. And most importantly, focus on the emotions that arise from having it. Whether you do this in the morning, before bed, or throughout the day, the more you engage in this practice, the more powerful it becomes. You can also use affirmations that reinforce the feeling of having your desire now. For example, you might say, "I am so grateful for the abundance that flows into my life," or "I feel so loved and appreciated." Feeling it real is about stepping into the vibration of your desire and living from that state of being. It is an act of creation that begins from within and radiates outward into your reality. The more you cultivate the feeling of already having what you want, the faster and more effortlessly it will manifest in your life. Trusting your inner knowing is a powerful and transformative practice that requires you to turn inward and listen to the deepest part of yourself. This inner knowing is often referred to as intuition, gut feeling, or inner guidance, and it is an innate, internal compass that directs you toward the right path, decision, or action in any situation. It is the voice of your higher self, the wisdom that resides beyond the surface of the conscious mind, and it connects you to the universal intelligence that orchestrates all of life. Trusting this inner knowing is essential because it transcends logic, reason, and external influences, offering you a level of clarity and certainty that cannot be found elsewhere. When you trust your inner knowing, you are acknowledging that you have access to wisdom that goes beyond your five senses. This wisdom comes from a place of alignment with your true nature and the greater universe. Your inner knowing is not something you learn or acquire through experience. It is something that you already possess. It is always available to you, but it requires that you quiet the noise of the external world and the chatter of the mind to hear it clearly. Often people ignore their inner knowing because they are conditioned to rely on external validation, societal norms, or the opinions of others. However, the more you practice tuning into your inner guidance, the stronger and clearer it becomes. One of the key aspects of trusting your inner knowing is the realization that it is deeply personal. No one else can tell you what is right for you, because no one else has the same perspective, desires, or understanding of your unique path. Your inner knowing is tailored specifically to you, reflecting the experiences, lessons, and growth that your soul needs in this lifetime. While it is natural to seek advice or guidance from others, trusting your inner knowing means that you ultimately rely on your own internal guidance system to make decisions. It means that you honor the feelings, nudges, and insights that arise from within, even if they do not make sense to others or align with conventional wisdom. Listening to your inner knowing often requires courage because it may lead you in directions that challenge your comfort zone or the expectations of those around you. This inner voice may ask you to take risks, make changes, or let go of things that no longer serve you. It may guide you toward a path that feels uncertain or unconventional. However, when you trust this guidance, you are affirming your belief in a greater plan for your life, one that is aligned with your true purpose and highest good. It is through following this inner knowing that you align with your soul's desires and manifest your true potential. Trusting your inner knowing also involves letting go of the need for external approval or validation. The opinions of others, while sometimes helpful, should not override your own inner guidance. Your inner knowing is connected to the universal flow, which means that it is always guiding you toward the most beneficial outcome for your life. However, the mind often seeks reassurance or confirmation from external sources, which can create doubt or second-guessing. Learning to trust your inner knowing means quieting these doubts and confidently following the path that feels right to you, even if others do not understand or support your choices. A significant part of trusting your inner knowing is recognizing the difference between fear and intuition. Fear often masquerades as caution or practicality, and it can be convincing. However, fear is rooted in the ego and is typically based on past experiences or imagined worst-case scenarios. Intuition, on the other hand, comes from a place of love, peace, and trust. While fear creates tension and anxiety, intuition brings a sense of calm and certainty, even in the face of uncertainty. Learning to distinguish between these two energies is key to following your inner knowing. When a decision or direction feels right at a deep, instinctual level, despite any fears that may arise, it is likely your intuition speaking. Trusting your inner knowing also involves cultivating a deeper connection with yourself. This means taking the time to tune into your inner world through practices like meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in solitude. When you create space to be still and listen, you strengthen your ability to hear your inner guidance. Often the answers you seek are already within you, but they get drowned out by the busyness of life or the constant stream of thoughts in the mind. By creating regular opportunities to connect with yourself, you allow your inner knowing to emerge more clearly and confidently. Another important aspect of trusting your inner knowing is recognizing that it often communicates through subtle signs and feelings rather than loud, obvious messages. It may come as a quiet nudge, a feeling of peace or discomfort, a sudden insight, or a deep sense of knowing that defies explanation. This inner voice is gentle and requires your attention to be heard. It is not forceful or insistent, but it will persist if you are open to receiving its guidance. The more you pay attention to these subtle cues, the more attuned you become to your inner knowing, and the easier it is to follow its direction. Trusting your inner knowing is also about developing self-trust. The more you act on your intuition and inner guidance, the more you build confidence in your ability to make decisions that align with your highest good. Each time you trust your inner knowing and it leads you to a positive outcome, you strengthen your belief in yourself and in the wisdom that resides within you. This self-trust becomes a powerful foundation for navigating life's challenges and uncertainties with greater ease and assurance. Over time, you begin to rely less on external factors and more on your own internal compass. One of the most powerful ways to deepen your trust in your inner knowing is to reflect on past experiences where you followed your intuition. Think about times when you trusted a gut feeling, even if it didn't make logical sense, and it led to a positive outcome. Reflect on moments when you ignored your inner knowing and later realized it was guiding you correctly. These reflections reinforce the validity of your inner guidance and help you recognize how it operates in your life. Trusting your inner knowing also invites you to surrender control over how things will unfold. This means taking the time to tune into your inner world through practices like meditation, journaling, or simply spending time in solitude. When you create space to be still and listen, you strengthen your ability to hear your inner guidance. Often the answers you seek are already within you, but they get drowned out by the busyness of life or the constant stream of thoughts in the mind. By creating regular opportunities to connect with yourself, you allow your inner knowing to emerge more clearly and confidently. Another important aspect of trusting your inner knowing is recognizing that it often communicates through subtle signs and feelings rather than loud, obvious messages. It may come as a quiet nudge, a feeling of peace or discomfort, a sudden insight, or a deep sense of knowing that defies explanation. This inner voice is gentle and requires your attention to be heard. It is not forceful or insistent, but it will persist if you are open to receiving its guidance. The more you pay attention to these subtle cues, the more attuned you become to your inner knowing, and the easier it is to follow its direction. Trusting your inner knowing is also about developing self-trust. The more you act on your intuition and inner guidance, the more you build confidence in your ability to make decisions that align with your highest good. Each time you trust your inner knowing, and it leads you to a positive outcome, you strengthen your belief in yourself and in the wisdom that resides within you. This self-trust becomes a powerful foundation for navigating life's challenges and uncertainties with greater ease and assurance. Over time, you begin to rely less on external factors and more on your own internal compass. One of the most powerful ways to deepen your trust in your inner knowing is to reflect on past experiences where you followed your intuition. Think about times when you trusted a gut feeling, even if it didn't make logical sense, and it led to a positive outcome. Reflect on moments when you ignored your inner knowing and later realized it was guiding you correctly. These reflections reinforce the validity of your inner guidance and help you recognize how it operates in your life. Trusting your inner knowing also invites you to surrender control over how things will unfold. It requires you to release the need for certainty or specific outcomes and instead trust that the universe is guiding you toward what is best for you, even if it looks different from what you initially envisioned. This surrender allows you to move through life with greater flow and ease, knowing that your inner guidance is always leading you in the right direction. When you trust your inner knowing, you align with the natural rhythm of life and open yourself to receiving the opportunities, people, and experiences that are meant for you. Inspired action is a crucial concept in the process of manifesting your desires and creating the life you envision. It differs significantly from the idea of simply taking action for the sake of being productive or fulfilling a checklist of tasks. Inspired action comes from a place of alignment, where your mind, body, and spirit are in harmony with the universe, and your actions flow naturally from a deep inner knowing. It is action that feels right, not forced or contrived, and it is often accompanied by a sense of excitement, joy, or enthusiasm. When you take inspired action, you are working in sync with the universal flow, making your desires easier to manifest. Taking inspired action starts with connecting to your inner guidance system. This requires listening to your intuition and paying attention to the feelings and ideas that arise from within you. Often inspired action comes as a subtle nudge, a sudden insight, or a strong feeling that something just feels right. It might not always make logical sense at first, and it might not align with the linear path you had planned. But inspired action is about trusting those inner prompts, recognizing that they are leading you toward the fulfillment of your desires, even if the steps seem unexpected or unconventional. Inspired action is not born out of fear, worry, or the pressure to achieve something quickly. Instead, it comes from a place of inner peace and alignment with your higher self. It is the natural next step when you have already cultivated the feeling of having what you want. In many cases, inspired action doesn't feel like work at all. It feels effortless, as if the universe is guiding you through each step, showing you exactly what needs to be done. You find yourself in a state of flow, where time seems to fly by, and you are fully immersed in the process, trusting that each action is contributing to the bigger picture of your manifestation. This type of action is fundamentally different from action that comes from a place of desperation or overthinking. Many people confuse the two, thinking that if they are not constantly busy or pushing forward, they are not making progress toward their goals. However, when you are forcing things or acting out of fear of not achieving your desire, the energy behind your actions is misaligned. These actions often feel draining or frustrating, and they rarely produce the desired outcome. On the contrary, inspired action feels energizing and purposeful, even if it requires effort or discipline. You know that each step you take is bringing you closer to what you truly want. It's important to note that inspired action can sometimes be subtle or seem small, but it still carries immense power. A simple phone call, a chance encounter, or following up on an intuitive hunch can be the catalyst for significant change. The key is not to dismiss these seemingly minor actions because they don't look like grand gestures. Often the universe works in mysterious ways, connecting the dots behind the scenes, and what may appear insignificant can set off a chain reaction that leads to the manifestation of your desires. When you act on inspiration, you are opening yourself up to the serendipity and synchronicity that the universe orchestrates on your behalf. Another critical aspect of inspired action is that it aligns with your overall vision of who you want to become and what you want to experience. This means that the actions you are prompted to take are in alignment with your highest good and your true desires, not just short-term gains or immediate gratification. Inspired action supports the unfolding of your long-term vision and often feels like it is bringing you closer to the life you've been dreaming of, even if the results aren't immediately visible. By trusting the process and continuing to take inspired action, you remain on the path to your desired outcome. To invite inspired action into your life, it is essential to create space for it to arise. This means cultivating stillness and silence in your mind, so you can hear the whispers of your intuition. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature can help you tap into that inner voice that knows what steps to take next. When your mind is quiet, you allow the creative ideas and nudges to surface. Inspired action often comes when you are not actively trying to figure out what to do, but are instead in a relaxed, open state, allowing the universe to guide you. It's also important to release any attachment to the outcome or how things should unfold. Inspired action is not about controlling every step or meticulously planning out how your manifestation will come to fruition. It's about trusting that the universe has a bigger plan in store and that the right actions will reveal themselves when the time is right. When you let go of the need for control, you create space for inspiration to flow. You become receptive to the guidance that comes from within and can act with confidence and trust in the process. Inspired action is a dance between your inner world and the external world. It bridges the gap between your desires and their physical manifestation by allowing you to act in alignment with the energy you've been cultivating. If you've been visualizing your desires, feeling them as if they are already true, and embodying the emotions of having them, inspired action becomes the natural next step. It is the physical expression of the energy you've been generating internally, and it moves you closer to bringing your desires into reality. Another important aspect of inspired action is that it often requires you to step outside of your comfort zone. The actions that feel inspired may not always be the easiest or most familiar, but they will feel right. Following this guidance may mean taking a leap of faith, reaching out to someone new, or trying something you've never done before. It's important to trust that these steps, though they may feel uncomfortable, are part of the process of growth and expansion. The universe often requires you to grow into the person who can receive what you are asking for, and inspired action is one of the ways you step into that version of yourself. Inspired action requires you to stay present and tuned into the moment. Rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, you remain focused on the now, where your guidance and intuition are strongest. By staying present, You are able to notice the subtle signs, synchronicities, and opportunities that arise in each moment, guiding you toward the next inspired action. You trust that as you continue to take these steps, everything will unfold in perfect timing, and you are always being guided toward the fulfillment of your desires. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can harness when it comes to manifesting your desires and shaping your reality. It acts as a magnet, drawing more of what you appreciate and value into life. This is because gratitude operates at a high vibrational frequency, and when you align yourself with this energy, you are in harmony with the flow of abundance. When you focus on the things you're grateful for, you send a clear message to the universe that you are open to receiving more. You acknowledge the good that already exists in your life, and by doing so you attract even more goodness, joy, and fulfillment. The practice of gratitude shifts your attention from lack to abundance. It's easy to get caught up in the feeling of not having enough, whether that's money, love, success, or happiness. However, focusing on what you don't have only creates more of that same energy. When you emphasize lack, you are, in essence, reinforcing the experience of scarcity. In contrast, when you actively engage in the practice of gratitude, you pivot your attention to what you do have, which allows you to recognize the abundance that is already present in your life. This shift in focus creates a positive feedback loop. The more you recognize and appreciate, the more you receive. Gratitude also works by changing your perception. Often minds are conditioned to focus on the things that aren't working or the areas of life that feel challenging. This negative bias can cloud our vision, making it difficult to see the blessings that surround us. By practicing gratitude, you retrain your mind to notice and appreciate the positives. Over time, this rewiring of your brain allows you to experience more joy, peace, and fulfillment, because you become more attuned to the things that are going right. This shift in perspective can transform not only your inner world, but also the circumstances of your outer world. The magnetic power of gratitude lies in its ability to open your heart and expand your capacity to receive. When you express gratitude, you cultivate a sense of worthiness, knowing that you are deserving of the blessings that flow into your life. This feeling of worthiness breaks down the barriers that might otherwise block the manifestation of your desires. Often, the obstacles we face in manifesting are not external, but internal, rooted in feelings of unworthiness, fear, or doubt. Gratitude dissolves these barriers by shifting your focus to the present moment and the good that already exists, reinforcing the belief that you are worthy of receiving more. Gratitude also has a powerful effect on your emotional state, and your emotions are a key part of the manifestation process. When you are in a state of gratitude, you are naturally aligned with positive emotions, such as love, joy, and contentment. These emotions elevate your vibrational frequency, putting you in a state of alignment with the universe. This alignment is crucial because the universe responds to your emotional frequency, not just your thoughts. If you are consistently feeling grateful, you are radiating the kind of energy that attracts more experiences and situations that match that vibration. In other words, you become a vibrational match to your desires. Another important aspect of gratitude is that it strengthens your connection with the present moment. One of the main reasons people struggle with manifesting their desires is because they are either stuck in the past or worrying about the future. Gratitude anchors you in the now, allowing you to fully appreciate what is, rather than focusing on what isn't or what has yet to come. This presence is a powerful state because it frees you from the limiting beliefs and fears that often arise when your mind is preoccupied with what might go wrong. When you are present and grateful, you are at peace with the current moment, which opens the door for more blessings to enter. Gratitude can also shift the way you interact with others and the world around you. When you approach life from a place of gratitude, you tend to focus on the positive qualities in the people you meet, the opportunities that arise, and the challenges you face. This shift in attitude fosters deeper connections and creates a ripple effect of positivity in your relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who are appreciative and uplifting, and as a result, you may find that your personal and professional networks expand as a result of your gratitude practice. Additionally, when you are grateful, you are more likely to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and resilience, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to be feared. One of the most powerful ways to amplify the energy of gratitude is through daily rituals. Whether it's writing in a gratitude journal, saying thank you to the people around you, or simply taking a moment each day to reflect on what you appreciate, these practices can have a profound impact on your mindset and your ability to manifest your desires. By making gratitude a regular part of your life, you create a habit of focusing on abundance. This, in turn, builds momentum, attracting more of the things you are grateful for. As you continue to acknowledge and appreciate the good in your life, the universe responds by providing even more to be thankful for. It's important to note that gratitude is not just about being thankful for the things that have already manifested, but also for the things that are on their way. When you express gratitude for your desires as if they have already been fulfilled, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you trust in its timing and in the unfolding of your manifestations. This act of preemptive gratitude creates a sense of certainty and expectation, which draws your desires closer to you. It's a way of aligning yourself with the outcome you wish to experience, reinforcing the belief that what you want is already yours, even if it hasn't yet appeared in physical form. Gratitude can also transform the way you view challenges and setbacks. Instead of seeing them as failures or signs that you're not on the right path, you can choose to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. By practicing gratitude in difficult times, you shift your focus from the problem to the potential lesson or hidden blessing. This perspective allows you to remain optimistic and resilient, trusting that even the challenges you face are part of a greater plan that is ultimately leading you toward your desires. Gratitude helps you to stay grounded in the belief that everything is working out in your favor, even when it doesn't seem that way in the moment. Gratitude serves as a bridge between your inner and outer worlds. It helps you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the energy of abundance, creating a powerful synergy that magnetizes your desires. As you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you become more aware of the many ways in which the universe is already supporting you, even in ways you might not have noticed before. This awareness deepens your sense of connection to the world around you and reinforces the idea that you are an integral part of the flow of life's abundance. In conclusion, the universe is constantly responding to the energy you project. By harnessing the power of gratitude, you elevate your vibration and align yourself with the flow of abundance. As you embrace your desires with trust, imagination, and a deep knowing that all is unfolding in divine timing, you begin to experience life from a place of empowerment. Everything you seek is already within your grasp, waiting for you to realize it. Let go of attachment. Focus on the feeling of having your desires now, and trust that inspired action will guide you. In this state, the universe will deliver everything you desire, effortlessly and perfectly.